All right. I want to talk about they. What do I mean by that? Many of you I know exactly what I'm talking about. They tried to kill Trump. They who? It was a single 20-year-old Republican who tried to kill Trump. This is the new one. And Eric Trump was interviewed yesterday at the RNC on day one. And he weaves together what is becoming the prevailing narrative on the assassination attempt against Trump being the latest outcropping of the broader plan by, I guess, Democratic elites to get rid of Donald Trump. And he casually uses the word they. And I try to be skeptical of they in general and always say who, they who. When people call me and they talk about how they are doing this or they are doing that, I say, who is the they? In this particular case, surrounding the Trump assassination attempt, being very careful about they is of particular importance. So let's listen to the little story that Eric Trump weaves together, and then we'll talk about they.
They have done everything to try and strip him of his wealth and of his fame. They've tried to break up our family. They've done everything possible to try and get him and kill him. And they literally tried to kill him this week. And despite that, he's undeterred. He's unrelenting. He loves this country. He's the one billionaire who does not need to be doing this. His life would be exponentially better if he wasn't. But he wants to make America great again. And I'm so proud of him. I've never had more respect for a person in my life. And, it's funny. I was there with Don and Tiffany and everybody else. We were in that exact same position in 2016. And we continue to fight on that stage with him every single day.
All right. They're fighting. So he talks about they. They tried the narrative that Eric Trump and others have been pushing is they tried to silence him by stealing the election. So this is an amalgamation of all of the they. They tried to silence him by stealing the election. They tried to silence him by suing him. They tried to silence him by indicting him. They tried to silence him by convicting him. And now they are trying to silence him by killing him. One 20-year-old Republican tried to kill Trump. It's deplorable. I've denounced it. I'm against all political violence. Unfortunately, someone was killed at the rally. It happened not to have been Trump by chance, but it was an individual in the crowd, another injured. But the narrative of they that they are weaving together is ridiculous because the they in every case other than the shooting is, of course, the Biden Justice Department, the DNC and their henchmen who tried to steal the election or who they might argue did steal the election in 2020 from Donald Trump. The weaponized local DAs and prosecutors under the thumb of Biden who decided to indict and decided to prosecute and whatever else the case may be. And into that they go, and they tried to kill him now too, suggesting, as some members of Congress did, that Biden was involved in the assassination attempt, that Democrats were involved, that it was left-wing rhetoric. Like, for example, saying Trump is a threat to democracy counts as inciting violence. And I'll tell you something. I've been getting emails, voicemails, and horrible excretions on X or tweets on Twitter where people are saying, David, you've been calling Trump a threat to democracy. So you incited this. You incited this. You've been calling Trump a convicted felon. So you incited this. Trump's literally a convicted felon. Unless and until that's overturned, Trump is a convicted felon. Stating a fact is now considered an incitement to violence, but there's more to the hypocrisy. There's more to the hypocrisy. Because in the context of saying we've got to turn down the volume and the rhetoric from the left about Trump being a threat to democracy is responsible for the shooting, here is Eric Trump in the same interview yesterday using the exact same rhetoric about Joe Biden.
And yet they're going back to January 6th, less than 48 hours later.
And they don't say Ashley Babbitt's name.
It's really horrible. Biden is a threat to democracy.
Biden is a threat to democracy. On the one hand, they say claiming Trump is a threat to democracy is what got him shot. I don't really know why, because it was a Republican who shot him. Okay, but put that aside for a second. They say when Democrats warn that Trump is a threat to democracy, they are inspiring assassination attempts. And then 48 hours after that assassination attempt, supposedly based on people saying, hey, Trump's a threat to democracy, Eric Trump says, Biden's a threat to democracy. Now, if you confront them, what will they say? They'll, of course, say, well, no, Biden really is a threat to democracy. Trump isn't. That's the difference. But the whole point is we need unity. We need to turn down the temperature. The unity went out the window the second that it was determined that Trump was okay and that we are now moving back to politics as usual. So when they talk about they tried to kill him, a 20-year-old Republican described as a right-winger by his classmates, reportedly who had Trump signs on his lawn, tried to kill Trump. What that has to do with they, I don't know. Let's take a super quick break and we'll continue the show right after this. Data brokers are constantly collecting huge amounts of information about what you do online, your address, phone number, email, financial info, even your political affiliation, and they sell that information to other companies. The FBI will sometimes even buy data in bulk to get information about Americans without a warrant. Your ex-girlfriend, your boss, anyone out there can use the publicly available data on search sites to find information about you. It's super easy. And worst of all, these data broker systems get hacked all the time, which really puts your data at risk, which is why you can end up getting scam calls and emails and the whole thing. The solution to all of this is our sponsor, Incogni. Incogni sends data removal requests to all major data brokers who are required by law to remove the information upon request. If any of the information stays online, Incogni will follow up about removal, and Incogni keeps you updated with details every step so you know what's going on and when the info is removed. What Incogni can accomplish is amazing. I use it myself. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and you'll get 60% off with the code Pacman. The link is down below.